Welcome to the Morning Meditation Podcast with your host, missionary Joe Consford.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Meditation. And today we're reading Psalm 56 through 60 in the King James Version. These Psalms are for days when you feel pressure. They're honest about fear, enemies, uncertainty, and they keep pulling you back to the same anchor. God sees, God hears, and God can be trusted. So let's read our Psalms today. Acts chapter 12. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison, and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Peter, therefore, was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me. And he went out, and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened them of his own accord. And they went out, and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken, named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in, and told how Peter stood before the gate. And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that it was even so. Then said they, It is his angel. But Peter continued knocking. And when they had opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. But he, beckoning unto them with the hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Lord had brought him out of the prison. And he said, Go show these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place. Now as soon as it was day, there was no small stir among the soldiers what was become of Peter. And when Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers, and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea, and there abode. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Sidon. But they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus, the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne, and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, It is the voice of a God, and not of a man. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory. And he was eaten of worms, and gave up the ghost. But the word of God grew and multiplied. And Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem, when they had fulfilled their ministry, and took with them John, whose surname was Mark. There's a line in Psalm 56. It's so simple you can't miss how powerful it is. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Not if, not maybe, but not when I get my emotions under control. It says what time, meaning the moment fear shows up. I am making a decision now before fear shows up. I remember a season when I kept waiting to feel brave before I acted, and I found out something embarrassing. If you wait to feel brave, you'll sit still forever. Fear doesn't send you a calendar invite. It shows up early. It shows up loud. And it tries to make you believe that your fear is a fact. But David does something different. He doesn't pretend he isn't afraid. He just refuses to let fear be the boss. Psalm 57 adds another line that feels like a man trying to talk to his own soul. He says, "My heart is fixed. O God, my heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise." Not a man who has no problems. That's a man who has chosen his anchor. And then Psalm 59 reminds you and I that sometimes the pressure is real. Sometimes it's not your imagination. Sometimes there really are people watching, waiting, twisting words and hoping you fall. So David does what he's done all along. He takes the whole mess and hands it to the Lord. And Psalm 60 ends with a blunt truth. Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of men. That isn't cynicism, that's clarity. People can help sometimes, but only God can always help. These 5 Psalms teach you to think when the world feels sharp. God sees your tears. God counts your steps. God is your defense. And God gives you a banner to stand under when everything else is shaking. So let's take a moment to reflect on this today. Number 1, fear is feeling. Trust is a decision. David doesn't deny fear. He redirects it. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Let fear become your cue to run to God, not your excuse to freeze. Number 2, a fixed heart beats steadily in a shaking world. It says, my heart is fixed. That's not personality. That's worship. A fixed heart comes from choosing God's truth over your changing emotions. And number 3, God is your defense, and his help is not vain. David sings in the morning because God kept him in the night. And Psalm 60 reminds you and I, humanity has limits, but through God, we shall do valiantly. Tomorrow, we'll be back in the book of Revelation, and we'll see a very dramatic chapter as it a sign from heaven, a war and a dragon, and a reminder that behind what we see on earth, there's real spiritual battles unfolding. So I'll see you tomorrow in Revelation chapter 12.
Thank you for listening to the Morning Meditation Podcast. Missionary Joe Consford invites you to join him each weekday. You can visit our website at consfords.com.